What a night. What a night. John Cena wins his 17th world title, surpasses Ric Flair at 16, and he does it as a heel. What a night. What's up there, Caden? Yeah, Cena won. Cena won, man. I'll be honest with you guys. As I said for weeks and weeks and weeks, I didn't lean into the hype. I did think Cena was going to win in 2025. Thought Cody was going to retain tonight, but hey, it is what it is. Overall, if we're going to play the game of comparison, which I very much am not a fan of, last WrestleMania, you can even go back to WrestleMania 39, even the year, 2 years ago. Collectively, WrestleMania 41 is not even in the conversation with 39 and 40 at all. But congrats to John Cena. Got to put that out there first and foremost. Congrats to Cena, whether he's a babyface, whether he was a heel, whether he was a tweener. He got the job done, so good for him. What's up there, Nas? Yeah, look, a lot of you guys had John Cena winning. Good for Cena. You can't tell me you cannot tell me, even with Cena winning, though, number 17, and this is far beyond the main event even of night 2 here, but this WrestleMania 41, night 1, night 2 combined, you want to break it down by night, whatever, it just was not it, all right? WrestleMania 41 was not it. And I would have said that even if Cody had retained. It didn't even come down to that final match or outcome for me to decide where this Mania stood or ranked collectively, honestly. Because really, I wanted to see Cody retain. But honestly, I had no vested interest in either one, really. Again, good for Cena getting it done. We're going to go through the whole card as we always do on here for a review. We're going to go through all 7 matches. A lot happened tonight. A lot transpired. Be sure, first and foremost, guys, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. All right, hit the subscribe. Hit that like button. All right, see quite a few of you in here. Hit the thumbs up. The math ain't math, and hit that like button, guys. I promise I won't charge you. I will not charge you a cent, I promise. So hit the like, hit that thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and we're going to get down to reviewing night 2 of WrestleMania 41. But again, WrestleMania 41 collectively very much so pales in comparison to the last two. 39 and 40 collectively were great. This one, not so much. And I was saying for weeks, I was looking at the glass half full, as I usually do in life, right? Silver lining. I was like, all right, you know what? The build to Mania the past couple of months wasn't all that good for most of the storylines. But what I did say is I believed that when we wake up Monday morning, hopefully all of us do, or even went to bed tonight, I was hoping that at least the build wasn't all that great towards this WrestleMania, but I was at least hoping that the weekend collectively delivered it. Honestly, regardless if you are a Cena fan or if you're even an EO fan, and regardless if your person won a title or won their match this weekend, awesome, congrats. But you'd be hard-pressed to say that this overall collectively, not just one single outcome, but collectively, both nights, that this was a good WrestleMania. It wasn't. It wasn't. And I think we got to be fair, and we got to be honest. Even if your favorite won, looking at it match by match, if you look at all 14 of these matches, and the way a lot of these things went, and the time, or lack thereof, that a lot of these matches got, some of these matches definitely should have got some more time. And I'm referring more towards night 1. But anyway, guys, we're going to go over all 7 matches tonight. Welcome. Smash that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. All right, hit the like. And we're going to get down to business in just a moment. And we're going to talk about the opening match, the triple threat for the Women's World Championship that took place. Want to read a few comments. Pacifica, how we doing tonight? What's up there, Rye? Yeah, I do think so. I think Cody will eventually get it back from Cena. I don't know if it's going to be as early as SummerSlam, but we'll see. Yeah, good to see Becky, man. Kind of weird, though. That's the second time that Becky's returned, just like 2021 when she dethroned Bianca in record time. People were not thrilled about that. With one manhandle slam in 2021 SummerSlam. Becky comes back at the same venue, again, Allegiant Stadium, right? The very same place in Las Vegas. And even though Bianca lost tonight, that had nothing to do with Becky. But Becky left with gold again. Becky left with tag team gold with Lyra, and that's going to burn all the way through to summer, where we'll eventually see them part ways. Does Becky need to turn heel on Lyra? Who knows? But either way, we'll get Lyra versus Becky at SummerSlam for the IC title. So that's a foregone conclusion. I was even leaning into the fact that Becky was going to return tonight. Maybe it doesn't work out with them winning. Maybe Becky even turned on Lyra during or after the match just to get that feud sparked up. But I get it. They're buying time. They're making their way to SummerSlam in, 3.5 months or so. So I get it. Yeah, Nas, that's an honest comment. And I know for a very long time you're a big fan of Travis Scott, but that was a cringe, terrible way. Your words, not mine, with him coming out in the midst of a match, taking his sweet time with that beautiful hardcore championship, by the way. Yeah, that opener, I'm with you there, Nas. That opener was phenomenal tonight. Last night's main event, triple threat match with Punk, Rollins, and Reigns. Tonight's opening match, where they picked up where those other three left off last night. Io, Bianca, Rhea did their thing. Like I said, I knew Io was probably going to retain, which she did. Unfortunately, and I know Nas, it hurts, man. I get it. Bianca's WrestleMania streak is broken, right? She's now 4-1, 3 of which she had won titles. So this is a title match to boot. But what are you going to do? Bianca looked great as she always does. Awesome ring gear and all that good stuff. She did go out with a bang. What's up there? What's up there, guys? See a lot of new faces in here. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. As always, Wiccan, what's going on? Both triple threats carry both shows. Yeah, exactly. Just uttered my sentiments. Jesse did not break Flair's record. Flair's talking classic. Randall Klebs, what's up there? How we doing, my friend? Yes, we do know the overall record, but in the WWE standards, he did. Championship Dom won. Yeah, good for Dom. Personally, as a fan of Penta, I was leaning towards Penta, but look, good for Dirty Dom, man. His evolution over the past 5 or 6 years since really stepping up and stepping into WWE a little before COVID has been nothing short of amazing. They are high on Lyra. Yeah, absolutely right. Look, Lyra's a good wrestler. I know she doesn't always show that all the time, and a lot of people seemingly are bored of her on Monday Night Raw, and I get it. I have a soft spot for Lyra, I do, but I can imagine that a lot of fans and even other women backstage are not too thrilled holding 2 titles now. It's going for 1,200. Wow, that's wild, Nas. But here, we're going to get started in a second. Is that Randy won? Yeah, good to see Randy win there, Caden, as well. Better not see Becky in. Yeah, 31. What's up, bro? Yeah, they are going to call her Becky Hogan regardless. And you know what? I like Becky. Let me just preface this by saying I like Becky Lynch. But she is going to be called Becky Hogan, right? Mainly because every time she returns, namely in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, not only does she get the win, she has to lead with the title. What's up with that? Wins the SmackDown Women's Championship against Bianca Belair, SummerSlam 2021. Comes here tonight. Good to see Becky. We all kind of knew it was going to be her, teaming with Lyra. We knew she was in Vegas, Hall of Fame Friday with Seth. We saw her backstage in Gorilla Saturday, cheering on Seth after he won and the whole turn with Heyman. And now she comes in and wins gold. It's like, I get it. They're going to drag out the story with her and Lyra to SummerSlam, but all that we'll see. Where was Lex? Yeah, I don't know what happened with Lex. I know he took a bump, as he said, on his way to the Hall of Fame Friday. So hopefully he's doing well health wise. Let's see. Defeated Naomi 26. So it's about for Lyra. Yeah, don't tell my girl Stephanie Vaquer that right there, Wiccan. All right, guys. So again, hit that like button, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe, and let's get down to business. So they opened up with Io Sky, the champion, the world champion, going up against Bianca, Rhea. This match was fantastic. Probably, in all likelihood, there was a couple of really good matches tonight. That was probably my favorite match of the night. All right, definitely my favorite match of the night. Much like the triple threat of last night, again, as a few of you mentioned, was phenomenal. This was awesome. This went a little over 14 minutes. Very enjoyable. Bianca looked like she was going to put Rhea away at the end. I think, she hit a KOD on her or something like that. I believe she had hit her finish. To no avail. Io made her way down. Actually gets the pin coming off the top on Bianca. So Io pinned Bianca. And the reason I like this for Io is it puts all that stuff to rest. Because what would it look like if Io pinned Rhea again, as she did 5 weeks ago or so on Raw, where she initially won that world championship from Rhea Ripley, right? So she pinned Rhea 4, 5, 6 weeks ago on Raw. She pinned Bianca Belair definitively tonight. So she's pinned both of them in the course of a month and a half. So she clean her hands of that. Io moves on. Where and whom does she move on to? We'll see. But good for Io, getting a big win. You know, she lost last year against Bayley, losing her WWE Women's Championship. The year previous, I believe, she was part of Damage Control still, but the Bayley and Dakota version where they lost to, who was it, Becky, Trish Stratus, and Lita, if you remember that, right? So at least finally Io got her WrestleMania moment against 2 amazing opponents in Rhea and Bianca. Not only have they both had a lot of title success in singles or tag, but especially at WrestleMania, right? Bianca was undefeated going into this, and Rhea's done pretty well for herself as well. Lost once or twice, but hey, again, that's big for Io. So kudos to her. Hats off to her. We're going to get to the Sin City street fight, which was almost the same amount of time. I think there was like a 30-second difference, to be exact, time-wise, with that match and the triple threat prior to Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. We knew it was going to be crazy because it's a street fight. People going through tables and whatnot. It was a very physical match, and the right person won. I started off hot with this. I had Io and Drew. I started off 2-0 tonight, was looking great. Cannot say I did very well for the rest of this card, but what I will say is that I was pretty intrigued with the opening two matches of this, regardless if I had the winner or not. What was the point of the main event? Good point, Andrew. I mean, Cena got the 17. Kudos for him. I had Cody. Regardless, even if Cody were to have lost tonight, regardless, or retained, I just did not like collectively, especially how that main event ended. Again, not so much that Cena won. It was the whole Travis Scott bit. And a few of you are fans of Travis Scott in here, and that's all good and well, but you were even honest about the situation. Like, oh, it was just a bit much. It was very dragged out with the song playing, the whole Fiend. We get it. It was hyping up WrestleMania and all that, but come on. I don't think that's how a lot of us like our pro wrestling, in the sense of taking away from a match that we very much been looking forward to for a very long time, Cody and Cena, especially with Cena in this heel capacity. But he got the 17, so be it. Noemi, how we doing tonight? How we doing, guys? Doctor Who, how we doing? Yeah, good for Jey Uso. Was very happy for Jey last night. Still am. Let's see. Getting a couple more comments here. I really wish they would do more live music. Yeah, I hear you, Wiccan. Damian Priest had a pretty cool live entrance tonight. Did anybody else have a live entrance? Maybe one or two. I know last night there was a couple as well, including CM Punk. Happy Raquel and Liv lost their titles. You say, Caden. Okay. Let's see. Dirty Dom won the IC title. Yes, he did. Guys, if you have not already, smash that subscribe button, all right? Hit that subscribe button and be sure to hit the like button upon coming in here as well. That's all I ask of you guys. Thank you very much. All right, so we are going to move on to match number 3 of 7, okay? We're going to move on to match number 3 of 7 that took place night 2, WrestleMania 41, if I can pull this up right now. That was Dominic Mysterio going up against the champion Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Now, Dom and Finn, we got a lot of teases back and forth throughout the course of this match of them going up against one another. I mean, it's very obvious that Finn and Dominic Mysterio have not been seeing eye to eye for a very long time. Both members of the Judgment Day. Up until the finish of this match, quite literally, Braun looked great throughout, being dominant as ever. Penta looked good as he always does. Personally, I was kind of rooting for Penta. Again, we don't know how long he's going to be in singles until they put the Lucha Bros back together, as they've pretty much tag teamed for many, many years. So I like that they're doing their singles thing on each brand, and so that's why I was kind of hoping Penta won. But I get it. I get the fanfare for Dom. He was 0-3 going into Mania. Dom needed a win, and Dom didn't just get a win. He got the Intercontinental Championship title win, so good for him. Looked like Finn was going to get the job done here tonight, just like it looked like Bianca was going to get the job done against Rhea. But then there came Dirty Dom, stealing the show at the end to win. And new Intercontinental Champion. Good for him. Let's see here. The Lyra had championship women's. Let's see here. Not going to get a real receipt, just a very safe code. Crossroads. Yeah, that's exactly what took place in the main event, Nas, with Travis Scott and Cody Rhodes. Plus, you know, Cody's a class act. What is he really going to do? He's not going to do anything sinister to anybody. So why did they waste Stone Cold? Yeah, I agree, Ryan. Listen, I'm as big a Stone Cold fan as you're going to find. He's one of my all-time GOATs, and I've been watching wrestling for 30-plus years, right? Seeing him come out there was great. Outside of him, I think, crashing his ride into the front row. I think somebody's going to be getting a lifetime's tickets to WrestleMania or a lawsuit going there. But outside of that, good to see Austin. But just to see him for an attendance announcement, again, didn't live up to the expectations a lot of people had. A lot of people were hoping that they'd find a way to have Stone Cold interfere in the Cody match, whether it's taking out a Cena or a Rock or somebody like that. I get it. I had very low expectations about them utilizing Austin in that manner. Again, very, very glad to see him. And you know, a lot of you talked about, you know, the whole Travis Scott thing being drawn out and cringe. You know what I think is cringe? I'm just tired of, even though there wasn't a necessary gate announcement this weekend about, oh, we broke a new gate record. I'm so over the attendance announcements, night 1, night 2, combined. Like, okay, enough is enough. And I love Austin, but even with Stone Cold Steve Austin doing that tonight, it's like enough is enough. Just give us good quality you know, matches, events, PLEs. That's all that matters. Realistically, we don't care about that so much. So when Brandy would have come out, yeah, that would have been good to see Brandy again. Happy for Dom, but a feud between him and Finn does not need the IC title. Correct, Nas. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I did not go with Dirty Dom. I know a lot of people did choose Dirty Dom. The only back and forth I had the past couple of weeks, I said to myself, should I go with Braun retaining or should I go with Penta? Now, although neither was the right answer, I was like, they might have Braun hold on to the title a little bit longer, even if he lost it next month at Backlash or something, right? But last minute, I don't get too personally invested in my choices, but I said, as a fan of Penta, I was kind of hoping they put it on Penta because I knew something was going to brew with Dom, with Finn. And again, like you said, I know it didn't require a title to take place. So as many of those good feuds, those family feuds type of deals do, right? So what are you going to do there? I was tired of them saying, welcome to WrestleMania, the first 5 minutes of the show. Yeah, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of reiterated nonsense, a lot of fluff that I can honestly say, and I'm a big fan of Triple H, was as a wrestler, even in creative and his high-ranking position in the company now. All that he's done for NXT, Triple H, you could argue his career post wrestling is arguably just as good, if not better, than all the years he did wrestle. And he's a very well-decorated champion, right? But that being said, I think that this weekend collectively, we just need to take a step back from, regardless if your favorite's won or not. I think we all realistically need to take a step back, and this pedestal that most of us had Triple H on, whether it was people just outright hated Vince, whether it was people just thought Triple H could do no wrong. And I think we all collectively need to take a look and say, you know what? Good for Triple H. He went in the Hall of Fame this weekend and all that. Stand and Deliver was phenomenal, by the way. Mania, night 1 and night 2, had some bright spots. But I think this was a real reality check, all right, for the real, true, through and through wrestling fan. I mean, you could be a diehard wrestling fan. You've only been a fan 3-4 years. I'm not saying you have to be a wrestling fan for 30, 35, 40 years to be there, right? What I am saying is you need to take a real quality, solid look and be like, all right, maybe, Triple H isn't perfect. And this weekend absolutely showed that because night 1 and night 2, neither night made up for it. Night 1 under-delivered, in my opinion, and night 2 was no better. Collectively, it had its bright spots. The triple threat matches, phenomenal. IC title match, great. Cody Cena, the main event, the match itself, it wasn't bad. It's just the end, towards the end. And it wasn't even so much, Cena obviously winning the way he did as a heel. That's not even the thing. It's just a lot of moments that could have been exciting were just, or kind of left you hanging high and dry. And I don't care if you're even the biggest fan of some of these men and women. It just kind of left you like, that's it. That's what now? What next? We all see where Lyra Becky's headed for SummerSlam in 3.5 months from now. Again, like I believe Nas said in here, Dom winning the IC title, he didn't need that to feud with Finn. And although, him going past the Finn feud, assuming Dom's going to go out on top, especially as champion, it's not to say that Dom can't have his moment at WrestleMania and become an IC champion, but that's kind of how I feel about Becky and Lyra winning the tag titles. That is a situation that did not require the tag titles, but they're going to drag it out. They'll hold on to it for maybe a month or two, or who knows. Eventually, there'll be some friendly fire, or maybe Becky just turns to an outright heel, which she could have did tonight, and to buy them time to have a match at SummerSlam for the IC title. So, there was a lot of things left in question. By the way, I didn't make mention because we're going to get to it next. We're going to talk about Randy Orton and his to-be-announced opponent, where we say his name and he appears, and I'm happy for him. Even though I wanted to see Nick Aldis, good for Joe Hendry. We're going to get to that. But again, Dominic Mysterio got the win here, got his first WrestleMania win, and he's an IC champion to boot. So good for him. We'll see what's next for Braun Breaker. I'm going to assume it's going to be something in the trajectory of what we got last year. Gunther lost his IC title at this very same show. And by SummerSlam, he was world champion, beating Damian Priest. Could that be a very similar situation? Just like Priest won the title at Mania last year, Jey Uso won the title at Mania this year. And could Braun be the one to dethrone Jey at SummerSlam, if not sooner, in that very similar, synonymous booking kind of scenario? So let's see. Did Logan Paul really have to be AJ? Nas, another one. Yeah, we pretty much feel the same on a lot here, Nas. And I agree. Logan Paul still got a lot of his stuff off, even hit a Styles Clash on AJ, and all kinds of different stuff tonight throughout that match. Logan really never puts on a bad performance. We'll give him that at minimum. But again, AJ loses consecutive WrestleManias, right? He lost last year to, what was it, LA Knight, the non-title bout, when he had that new heel theme music, and now he loses to Logan Paul. And I think it hurts us more knowing that AJ's only got, 2 WrestleManias left in him before he seemingly will be retiring at some point in 2027, as he went on to tell Chris Van Vliet a few months ago on his podcast. So, there's a lot of things, and whether or not I'm fans of these men and women, it's besides the point. I like to see things get done correctly. Even if I necessarily don't agree with the outcome, just do right by the given situation and circumstance, that's all. But I don't know, man. I cannot say collectively, as you've noticed these last 20 minutes as I've been speaking throughout this review, not the biggest fan of this WrestleMania. I watched 39 from home like I've watched many others. 39 was great. I attended 40 last year. That was even better to me. Last two Manias were fantastic. And a vast majority of that was under the Triple H regime. A vast majority of that. And this is the second one under the TKO group, right? Can't say I'm the biggest fan. Can't say I'm the biggest fan. But we're going to go to match number 4, Randy Orton. His surprise opponent was Joe Hendry. Again, I wanted to nick all this, but good for Hendry. It was a relatively short match. I think it went just around over 3 minutes. Didn't need to see too much happen here. We got a couple RKOs and so on and so forth. And good for Joe Hendry. I'm very happy for him walking down that ramp. I think he was at the Rumble as well, right? Both times he was at the Rumble this year. He was at WrestleMania 41. Both times as TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So that's awesome. So kudos to Joe Hendry. Randy Orton was able to celebrate his 20th WrestleMania with an abrupt win. Good for him, man. Good for him. We're going to go to match number 5 here where Logan Paul, as we just spoke about, Logan Paul went up against AJ Styles. This was one of the longer matches of the night. Believe it or not, this was the second longest match of the night that went almost 18 minutes. All right. The longest match technically was 21 minutes and 40 seconds with Cena and Cody. But realistically, by the time Travis Scott walked down there and they did their whole shtick, realistically, they dragged out the latter part of that match. So honestly, Logan Paul and Styles, they basically went neck and neck or head to head with Cena and Rhodes. If you really count the match unto itself, they both went about 17, 18 minutes, if it really comes down to it. Let's see. Wiccan says basically Braun gets pushed to the main title picture. Absolutely. The women's triple threat match is easily the match of the night. I agree with you there, Dr. Who. Sorry, I got into a few comments there, guys. Let me get to a few more. Basically, Braun gets pushed. I read that. I'm worried about SummerSlam after watching this WrestleMania 31. You have every reason to feel, and look, I'm from the Garden State, all right? Born and raised in New Jersey. I'm hoping that the first 2-night SummerSlam is fantastic. But if this WrestleMania is any inclination of what we're going to get for our first 2-night Mania, 2-night SummerSlam here in Jersey in 3.5 months, by God, brace yourselves for impact, folks, because, man, this weekend collectively, again, there were bright spots. I'm being honest. There were some silver linings. But if you're going to come on here and you do a ranking scale of 1 to 10, 10 being great, or A through F or whatever, and say, oh, this was an A plus or this was a 9 or 10, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. And I don't care if John Cena is your guy and you're happy Cena won, or Seth is your guy and you're happy your Io's your girl, you're happy Becky's back. You cannot tell me that collectively this show and all it embodied on the 19th and 20th, night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania 41. You cannot tell me, honestly, that this was a good overall product and show. You can't. You just can't. You're lying. You're lying. So, again, if you know me, the past year, I've been going live mainly on TikTok. The past few months, the 2025, I've been going live here regularly on Mondays, Fridays, and some PLEs. I always call it very honest. And I even give a lot of margin for error. A lot of people came on here and said, hey, this build has been terrible. This Mania is going to suck. I said, yeah, look. The build hasn't been that great. It picked up at times the last couple weeks or so with a lot of the feuds. I said, but let's just let it play out, as us wrestling fans like to say. Let it play out. And we let it play out. And there was a couple good matches, but mostly this thing overall was a disaster. It was a disaster. So, again, we're going to get to match number 5, Logan and Styles. Thank you for being here, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to smash that subscribe button. All right, hit that like button as well as we go over night 2 of WrestleMania 41 there, guys. Again, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for the 3 or 4 new subscribers we got throughout the course of this review in the last 25 minutes. Thank you. Let's see if we can get 3 or 4 more subs before we get out of here. All right, here for at least another 15 minutes. Let's see, Backlash is in 3 weeks. What's up there, Jason? Hopefully you're still there. How we doing tonight? Miss J, yes, this outside of Seth and that winning last night and a couple others, the triple threats were great, but this was a wild situation we got here collectively as a weekend. As the weekend went on, Jey Uso was the captain. Yeah, Jey Uso got it done. Oh, it's up there, creative official. How we doing? You give it a 7 both nights, Miss J? Okay, and I think that's very generous. I still, if I had to give this a letter grade, I'd give it a C-, and I'm not even just caught up in the moment. I could go back and watch this Mania top to bottom in 6 months, and maybe I would even give it a C. All right, maybe I wouldn't give it a C-, maybe I would give it a C. I wouldn't go as far as to ever give it a C+, though. I could assure you that, because I knew what I liked. Both of the triple threat matches were great. The IC title match was fantastic. There were some bright spots, but I'm going to give it a C- collectively. The uncertainty of The Rock, much Triple H can develop the main event match. It could be right, and I will give Triple H that margin of error with not knowing what's going to go on with The Rock. Right, he's ever changing. Is he going to be here? Is he not? What's going to happen with him? So I get it, but yeah, the main event finish was a mess, and I'm not even talking about Cena winning unto itself. Let's see there. Freaking low. We need honest topics. That's it, Miss J. Appreciate you being here. No problem, Rach. Good seeing you as well. Good seeing you as well. Yeah, Tiffany won last night. Jason, what do you mean? How do I go live on YouTube? I hit the button and press go live, and that's about it, man. Very happy Cody Rhodes lost the match. It's creative. Okay, main event was a joke. Yes, it was. It was, Rachel. Even the biggest Cena fan, I'm not sure how you can be satisfied with that match. You might be satisfied with the title win. I get it. He got to 17. I get it. I even pulled out the Cena towel for the first time ever in my existence. The last time is now. I even got a pack of the freaking sweatbands I didn't even open yet, all right? I was ready to run around the house, but I can't get excited for that. I'm happy he won, but I can't get excited for how that went down. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think so either, Rachel. Getting a few more comments. I agree with you, Miss J. I agree with you. 31 says, I know it's too early, but WrestleMania 42. Yeah, New Orleans, I will say this. Even though the past couple manias that we saw in New Orleans, WrestleMania 30 and 34, a couple of the outcomes really pissed me off. All right, like The Undertaker losing the Brock at 30, or Styles beating Shinsuke Nakamura when Nakamura, that was his time to be champion. Or we could talk about 34 also when Charlotte beat Asuka, broke her streak, and Asuka didn't win the title, that SmackDown Women's Championship. So there was a lot of outcomes at WrestleMania 30 and 34 in New Orleans that really upset me. But I will say, collectively, from what I recall, I did enjoy both of those manias thoroughly. So I think it's going to be a good Mania. I know we're a whole year away. I know we're a whole lot of booking away from what may transpire. Was it April 11th and 12th next year? But we'll see, man. This Mania was not it. So we would have to assume by default that next year's Mania's got to be better, right? Let's get back on the trajectory of WrestleMania. 38 was great unto itself, too. I mean, Austin coming out and having a match with KO is fun, but WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, give me that. Give us that. Not this junk that we got collectively this weekend, where there's a couple things to write home about. And I'm assuming most of us were not there this weekend. I know I certainly wasn't. I stayed home. Stayed home and watched it. And thank God I didn't spend a dime to go to Vegas. Again, for me, it's less about the outcomes of the matches, and it's more about what we got from a creative standpoint, or lack thereof. So, again, we're going to hop to match 5 of 7 right now. And again, good seeing Joe Hendry tonight. Good for him. I'm very happy for him. One of the bright spots. I was happy for him. They gave too much away before it started. Yeah, I hear you. Travis took forever. He sure did. They should have gave him a golf cart. Something, man. They should have gave him what they gave them at, WrestleMania 3 or 4, when they would hoist Andre and Ricky Steamboat and everybody to the ring. They drive them up, right? Let's see here. I didn't think they would have both women's world champions retain. Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, that was one of the things I definitely got right this weekend. I said I got Tiffany and Io, and they did get that done. One thing I was very much so surprised and wrong about, I'll admit it. I'll admit my faults, my strengths and my weaknesses. I was good with the women's titles, but what I was definitely not good at was the tag team titles. I was assuming the War Raiders were going to retain just because there was no story with the New Day. And I was even thinking Liv and Raquel were going to hold on to the titles just a little bit longer. And maybe tease some tension with Becky and Lyra from the jump. But both those tag titles have now changed hands. So it is what it is. Let's see. I got to get Joe's reaction. Oh, he went. Okay. All right. Is Roman Punk Cody going to have a line? I'm sorry. Is Roman Punk and Cody going to align? Good question, Rye. Good question. Yeah, with Cena Rock and all that. Seth. And yeah, we'll see, man. I'm sure something's going to be conjured up in the coming weeks. Again, I'm not putting too much hope or expectation, though, from what I've been seeing from WWE lately. So let's be honest. We should get Randy versus Cena at Backlash. Yeah, well, like I said, Rachel, I would love that. Have Randy kick his ass and get 15. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. My school of thought going into this, again, I was assuming Cody was going to hold the title a little bit longer, at least a couple months. And I was assuming we were going to get Cody and Randy with Cody as champion at Backlash. But now that Cena won it, we could get Cena Randy as early as 3.5 weeks from now. And honestly, to be real with you, I'm here for it if that's what they so choose to do. But yeah, I heard Corporate Rollins. Yeah, absolutely. I think Heyman and Seth are on their way to Team Corporate with The Rock and Cena. Yep, Heel Bianca's coming very soon. Yeah, I'm excited for that too, Nas. I'm excited for that too. Again, so let's go to match number 4 real quick. Logan Paul, AJ Styles, second longest match of the night behind John Cena and Cody. Almost went the same amount of time. Very good match throughout. Enjoyed it. You know Logan can go. All right. Uh, Disappointed though. Karrion Kross got involved towards the end. One of Logan Paul's buddies was coming with the brass knucks. Karrion Kross stopped him, took the knucks from him. Then when AJ came out, Karrion was bribing AJ to use them. AJ said no. He tossed them. Then he struck Kross, got up on the top rope, wasn't able to connect with Logan. I believe he was making an attempt at a phenomenal forearm or something like that. Long story short, shortly after that, we had Logan Paul go and get the victory. Not the pulverizer. It was one of his other names, right? That has, or one of his other moves with his name in it. Half his moveset has the name Paul in it. Either way, Logan Paul got the victory. Very shocked. Second consecutive loss for AJ Styles at Mania. It might even be his third. No, I forget who he went up against at 39. Because 38, he had lost to Edge, right, when they were forming the Judgment Day. So with Damian Priest and all that. But anyway, AJ Styles again winding down his career. It would be nice to see him get a couple victories before he hangs it up in 2027. That said, good for Logan, I guess. And he retained last year because Logan put his U.S. title on the line in a triple threat last year. I believe it was against KO and Randy, right? So this is Logan's, at minimum, second consecutive WrestleMania victory. So what are we doing with AJ Styles? That's one of my big questions coming out of this. You know, you could wonder about a lot of wrestlers and where's their trajectory or what's next, but legitimately, what are we doing with AJ Styles? You know, I'm not so upset or concerned about the fact that Logan Paul won. All right, we know he could wrestle part-time or not. We know Logan's good, but my question is what is next for AJ Styles? And one could only assume it's going to be him and Karrion Kross. But where are we going with that? And that is almost like a lose-lose too, because Karrion Kross finally, if anything, Kross needs to get over in some capacity finally. So then if Kross does get over, good for him. But now, what's that mean for Styles? Is he going to spend the rest of his career, the last year or two, just collecting L's left and right? I hope not. I hope not. L Mania. I agree. Collectively, it is an L Mania, and I keep it real. You know that, man. I'll be the first one to tell you how it is. Wickens says, can't believe Hendry fell for the congratulate. Yeah, I love how he brought him to every side of the crowd, right? And then said, all right, but before I leave, let me give you another RKO. That was fun. That was fun. Let's see. Kross just wants to help people. Yeah. Kross just wants to help people, and Bobby Lashley just wants to hurt people, right? Big question. Do Judgment Day turn on Dom now? That's a great question, Rachel. One thing I'm going to say is this, Rachel. I don't know directly if that's going to be the case, but you're going to have a very disgruntled and moody Judgment Day, all right? Finn lost. Liv and Raquel lost. JD McDonough, I'm assuming he's still out for a little bit. What's going to happen with Carlito? Who knows? For all I know, he might go join Fatal Influence in the month of May and be tag teaming with JC Jane. Who knows? But he'll find a faction to join, right? We know that. Maybe he'll join PFC, Pure Fusion Collective, and replace Sonya Deville. But in all sincerity, really, I don't know. I don't know what this means. I assume that this is the beginning of the end, or just flat out the end of the Judgment Day, right? Dom could easily, even though he's very heel-like, still, maybe this could, when Dom goes on his very own way, or they just all collectively to meet and disband. Liv and Raquel lost their tag titles, so why not let them all just go do their thing? Judgment Day has ran its course. If you remember, WrestleMania 38 is when it began to form. Going back to AJ Styles for a minute, that's when Damian Priest helped Edge beat AJ Styles. So it began at WrestleMania 38, let it die off at WrestleMania 41. We got 3 years of the Judgment Day, many different variations of it. And so it's time to let it go. Let that ship sail. I'm good with it. So hopefully. What's up there, Shy Guy 35? How we doing? Guys, if you're new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button. We got a couple early subscribers as we started. Let's end with a few as we end it here in about 10 plus minutes or so. Let's get a couple more subscribes. Let's get a couple more thumbs up in the chat. Get a couple more likes. All right, you guys are lighting it up down here as I'm enjoying myself. The good thing is, win, lose, or draw, regardless how good these shows are or not, I'd like to say we collectively enjoy ourselves in here. The crowd was loving Dom. Yes, very, very over, more than ever, right? Did you see Finn did his original entrance he used to do before? Sorry, I lost the tweet. He went with Judgment Day. Oh, he did do the arm thing, right? Yeah, I do believe I caught that. Face Balor, very well could be the case there, Miss J. One of them got to be branching out to the babyface side collectively, whether it's Finn or Dom. And it kind of feels like it's going to be Finn, right? We just saw Dom go face tonight. Yeah, you believe that was an outright face turn for Dom. All right. Appreciate that, Miss J. Oh yeah, I'm fired. I'm freaking fired up. And again, it's not just because Cody lost. Hey, it was a hell of a run. I got to see him be crowned in person last year. Good for him. I have no problem that Cena won. I really don't. It was just how it ended, right? I want Liv and Dom a little more longer with their love story. Gonna go on TikTok next. Rach, I hope to go on TikTok. I don't know. I'm gonna stay tuned. I may go on TikTok later, but there may be a gap. I may not go on right away. We'll see. It's gonna be to be decided. What do you think is next for McIntyre and Priest? Do you think they run it back one more time at Backlash? I could see that where Drew maybe just gets a definitive win. Maybe they go 50 booking, and then Priest gets a victory, and then maybe they have the third and final match at because Drew likes a good series, right? Going a few matches just like with Punk. So maybe they have a third match at I don't know, a later pay-per-view, or even an episode of SmackDown. Who knows? Sullivan, how we doing tonight? How we doing? Be sure to smash that subscribe button, guys. Hit that like button. Smash the subscribe. Yeah, I agree, Miss J. I agree. It's funny that it all goes back to the Rock and Team corporate, because everything is so corporate. And as a diehard pro wrestling fan, like a lot of you guys are, right? I'm so tired of the corporate jargon. Whether it's from Netflix and Peacock and sponsorships and artists and musicians and the guy who's in the friggin' bull racing and this comedian and the roast it is. I don't give a goddamn. Enough of that. All right. I'm all for plugging what you gotta plug. You gotta go plug a show coming up, another season of Law and Order, whatever. Go do that, but don't make it so much so that it overtakes and overrides the product. And the problem is, a lot of these people who are in charge, that's way above Triple H's position and pay grade as well, are making these calls and calling these shots. TKO, Endeavor, what you will, friggin' Dude Wipes. They got all the sponsorships. Enough is enough. Come on, enough. Do what you got to do, but I don't need to hear all these numbers. And give us, we've been watching for months and years and decades. Give us a good WrestleMania weekend. That's all we ask. We know all our favorites aren't going to win. That's just how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. But give us quality stuff. That's all I ask. Give us quality. Cheers to that. Absolutely. Where's the Wyatts and Alexa Bliss? Hope to see them soon, 31. Rachel says The Rock couldn't even be bothered to show up at Mania. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good for Cena. Got 17 tonight. Win, lose, or draw. Regardless how he did it, right? Which Vince would have just kept coming at this point. I get it, Nas. I get it. Look, Vince is far from the perfect individual as a human being and a booker. But I understand what you're saying. Appreciate you, Sullivan. Welcome in. Stone Cold, I know. Stone Cold was coming out, and that's like the last thing I wanted to see Stone Cold come out and do. And you know me, Miss J. You know me here for what? Better part of at least 9 months, going live on TikTok and over here on YouTube, just like you, yourself, Rachel, Nas, and many others. I love Stone Cold just as much, if not more, than anybody else. But when you got Stone Cold Steve Austin coming out just to announce the attendance for night 2 and then both night, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I know we don't. So that being said, again, good to see Austin, but couldn't have been any more of a lackluster moment than to see Stone Cold. Because even when the glass shattered, I said to myself, and usually I'm always hyped to hear that glass shatter. I think all of us are. But I said, what could he really be coming out and doing at this point in time? We just saw the women's tag team championship match finish up. We saw Becky Lynch and all them. We're about to get Cody and Cena. And if anything, we want to see Austin come out maybe in about 15 or 25 minutes and maybe hit The Rock or Cena or somebody with a couple of stunners. But that was not the case. We got stunned. The crowd got stunned. The fans in attendance and at home, we all got stunned by that, by hearing an announcement of attendance. Who cares? Nobody. 31 says, Turnbuckle's turning heel. I think you're right. It's all because I took out that damn John Cena towel. Like I said, imagine, I might be a tweener right now. If I put these wristbands on, and this John Cena friggin' headband, I might wear it on my next live, then you'll know. You'll know if I'm all decked out in John Cena gear, watch out. Because then I've absolutely went full-blown heel on you guys. Loving this fire turnbuckle. Thank you, Rachel. This is what pro wrestling does to me, for better or for worse. So the good thing about, even if it's for worse, usually I transition it into a fun, enjoyable manner. But I appreciate that. Solomon, thank you for the new subscription. Guys, be sure to subscribe. I appreciate the subscribers we've gotten throughout the course of this live. You guys have rocked it, as we've definitely exceeded over 800. So you guys have done great in the last week or two especially. So thank you. Hit the hit the like button, guys. Hit that subscribe, and thank you for being here tonight. Would you write off Cody and not do Backlash, Ryan? I would not want Cody Rhodes on Backlash. I would, however, like to see him. I'd give Cody off not just the rest of April. I might give Cody off all of May. I know he doesn't want to stay away for that long, but I would have Cody away for at least a month. What do I think about Mania ticket high prices? I think it's ridiculous. I think TKO is greedier than ever. Did you see Cena's press conference? No, I am going to watch it at some point, tonight or tomorrow, though, Miss J. Rachel as well, saying it was a joke. We don't even need the rest of the review. We just need your thoughts. Yeah, you ask, you want to bring up a topic, I'll give it to you. Now is a great time to ask. Usually I even hop on here a little later after a show, especially a PLE, but I said I got to get on here and talk things. Topics is turning heel. That's my job. Our tag match is getting weird. It's getting weird, Wiccan. That's right, because you and Julia are supposed to be the heels against me and my girl Stephanie, who did retain this week in a Stand and Deliver. What I can say, and I'm just going to put this out here as I've uttered these sentiments last night during my Night 1 review and Night 2 tonight, I cannot put over the show anymore. The best part about WrestleMania weekend, after watching 3 events that were in relation to WWE, NXT Stand and Deliver, start to finish, those 7 matches, that NXT Stand and Deliver card early Saturday, to me, start to finish, was better than Night 1 or Night 2, or the whole friggin' weekend, if we're talking about start to finish, one whole event. Now, if I could piece together some highlights or bright spots from Night 1 and highlight some bright spots and matches from Night 2 and put them together, maybe if I put the bright spots from Night 1 and Night 2 together, you'd be able to formulate maybe one solid night start to finish. That, I will give WWE that. But watching Night 1 unto itself, watching Night 2 unto itself, and thinking, all right, Night 1 was all right. Hopefully Night 2 really brings the fire, and it didn't. It didn't. And I'm saying that with number 17 for Cena. Who the hell thought I'd be saying that, or anybody would say Night 2 didn't bring it with Cena hitting 17, right? A lot of people's goats. Not mine, but a lot of people's. I don't know, man. Sol Ruka, very happy for Sol Ruka. Hank and Tank, very happy for them too. You guys are calling out a lot of good champions we saw on Stand and Deliver. Couldn't have been more happy for both of them as well. And the thing I loved about Sol Ruka too is, again, last year at Battleground, last June, she was also in a 6-person ladder match, right? Where Kalani Jordan got the victory in Las Vegas. I believe it was at the UFC Apex last year in Nevada. And here they were yesterday, and Sol got it done this time. So good for her. I'm very happy for Sol Ruka. For those that care, she is the speed champion on X. Again, I really don't watch that. And that's one of the reasons I didn't think they were going to put the title on Sol. I said, oh, they're giving her this consolation prize. She's in a tag team with Zaruka. I thought they were going to screw it up for one another. Much like I thought they were going to screw it up for Jacob with Solo this weekend. But hey, I was wrong about both of those. Jacob won a title. Sol Ruka won a title, and I couldn't be happier for either one. I think Triple Threat match is best this year. Yeah, the men's Triple Threat last night was phenomenal, top tier. And even the Open tonight with the women was very good as well. Let's see here. This WrestleMania is just average. Ingal, absolutely. Well, you're right. It was average. And that's putting it kindly, collectively, this weekend. Guys, be sure to smash that subscribe button. Welcome in. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. Man, it's Cena didn't need that damn title. Says Tony. Yeah, I hear you. I thought Cena was going to win it this year. I just didn't think it was going to be on this very night. But here we are. Let's see. Cena's merch says the last real champion. Yeah, I did peep that. All right, guys. So let's get back to the review. I know we were discussing a couple of different topics in regards to tonight. We are going to go to match number 6. Lyra Valkyria. Who's her mystery partner? Bayley was attacked earlier prior to Night 1's WrestleMania. Who's it going to be? Most of us knew that it was going to be one of the 4 horsewomen. Gee, couldn't be Charlotte. She had a match last night. Sasha. Mercedes is an AEW. Bayley, she was removed, so who could it be? Becky. We knew she was around all weekend. She's been gone since May of last year after losing to Liv Morgan, that world title match. Becky's back. Good for her. Becky made her return tonight, much like she did in SummerSlam 2021. Not just Las Vegas, but the very same stadium, Allegiant Stadium. How did it end? Similar fashion to how it ended in 2021. A quick manhandle slam against Bianca. At least she actually wrestled, tonight. It wasn't one bogus move. Ended with a manhandle slam for them to become the new tag team champions. Congrats to her and Lyra. Lyra's a double champ. Lyra did not defend her IC title, but at least she left with another one. And this will then culminate to them feuding into SummerSlam. When did they lose those tag titles and to who? Who knows? Will Becky actually turn to an outright heel, or will they be two baby faces that just have a decent match or hopefully a great match at SummerSlam for that IC title? Where I said a couple of months ago I could see Becky versus Lyra at Mania, and I thought Becky would put Lyra over. Now looking at it, where I would see things, and especially if you're extending Lyra's IC title reign for another 3+ months, so that takes Lyra from what better part of January all the way through seemingly early August. Now I'm looking at it as, instead of Becky putting Lyra over at Mania for the IC title, now I'm looking at it in a totally different light. Obviously, the timing and all that. Now I'm seeing Lyra drop her IC title to Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. Early prediction, call it what you want, 3.5 months in advance. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I see happening. Guys, welcome in. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Welcome in. We're talking WrestleMania Night 2, right? We're on match 6 of 7. Almost at the main event. You're not going to want to miss it, believe me. Some people call this must-see. Tonight's must-see. We're going to talk about it. So smash that subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. Welcome in. DSL Cena should have won the Rumble and faced Gunther, not Jey Uso. Yeah, DSL, what's up there? That's a great acronym, by the way. By the way, I was all for that too. 10 years since John Cena beat Rusev at WrestleMania 31 for that United States Championship. Cena beating the foreign heel. It's ironic. Rusev just re-signed with the company, right? And that's who I thought Cena was going to pick initially. Go up against the foreign heel. Obviously, Cena didn't have that opportunity because Jey Uso already called out Gunther. Cena won the Chamber. All he had was Cody, right? But initially, yes, if Cena was going to win the Rumble, which I thought he was going to do so. I thought Cena was going to go after a Gunther if he had the opportunity to do so, win that world title. But it was the exact opposite of what we thought. You know, he turned heel instead and went up against the babyface and won it in a particular way where we did not see that happening, where he closes the show with Travis Scott. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Let's see. Read a few more comments here. Goldberg couldn't work in his prime, let alone that wouldn't work. Heel Becky and Seth with Heyman. Perhaps, Wiccan. I think heel Becky is definitely incoming. I was ready to see heel Becky as early as tonight. Really. I really was. Wise Man advocates for Becky. That'd be interesting. Now, I had read that Lana's back on a Legends deal. So I think Rusev's just coming back. I don't think Lana's going to be on TV, at least immediately. I don't think so. Would you have room and run it back with Seth at SummerSlam or have him against CM Punk? Good question. You know, they want to book Seth very strong going forward, so I don't know. Personally, I'd rather see Roman Seth at this juncture, but they may do Roman Punk at SummerSlam with no Heyman involved this time, a straight-up one-on-one match. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think at this point, I think the likelihood of seeing Roman versus Punk may be a little more likely, but we'll see. Heyman on a pole match. Wiccan said it. So again, congrats to Becky Lynch, Lyra. This will all end up being into an IC title feud at SummerSlam, right, in Jersey, early August. Here it is. It's time for the main event. It's time for the main event. It's midnight. Perfect timing. By the way, this show ended, what was it, like 10:40 Eastern time, if not earlier? Crazy. I thought it was going to go to maybe closer to 11 at least. So what are you going to do? I had a hell of an idea that the show comes back and crushes the bloodline. Very nice. All right, guys, so we had John Cena going up against the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, who won this title April 7th of last year, WrestleMania 40. Closed the show much like he closed it against Cena tonight. Unfortunately for Cody, it was a numbers advantage for Cena and company, and Cody could not close the deal. All in all, this match wasn't bad. It exceeded 20 minutes. Referee was knocked out and knocked around a couple times throughout the course of this match. Cena removing the top turnbuckle, throwing Cody's head into it a couple times. A couple close situations for Cena, a couple close near falls. He just could not get the job done no matter what he did. You know, suddenly at one point in the later stage of this match, Travis Scott's music hit. We heard his song Fiend, which we've heard all throughout the course of this lead to WrestleMania. The one thing that has been consistent is we would hear that every episode of Raw and SmackDown and so on. And he made his way. And if you did not see this show, which most of you did, taking his sweet time was almost to another level. Travis Scott moves so slow coming down the entranceway. He made The Undertaker look like he runs every time his music hits. So Travis Scott finally got there Monday morning in Las Vegas, and we all were able to wake up, make coffee, and eat breakfast, and watch the rest of this match. It wasn't very long after that. John Cena, long story short, was able to seal the deal. I was very surprised at the outcome. I thought Cody was going to retain, be champion at least for a little longer. I always knew Cena was going to win 17 at some point this year. I didn't think it would be on this very night, but that's the way it was. The match collectively wasn't bad. The Travis Scott getting involved. It wasn't necessary at all. Very surprised that was the only person who came to intervene or interfere in this match. Cody got a crossroads in on Travis. Big deal. We didn't see The Rock. We didn't get to see Austin come out. He got to announce the attendance. Who cares? No stunners dropped. None of that. Nothing like what we saw in the main event last year. That Bloodline Rules match. You got to see everybody and then some. Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, The Rock, Undertaker, and so on. So it was great. Last year was just phenomenal in a lot of ways. And I always like to keep every Mania and every scenario separate, but I can't help but think back to it because it was so good. And this Mania was so disappointing in a lot of ways, not just the main event and all that. So Cena defeats Cody, gets number 17. All right, he gets number 17 on April 20th, 2025, for those that care. And we'll see. How long will this heel Cena last? How long will this title reign last? Who does he lose it to? Does Cody get it back at some point? Could it be as early as SummerSlam or prior to? I certainly don't see Cena losing that title prior to SummerSlam. But will it be to Cody or somebody else? So love for you guys to sound off in the chat. And I also want to tell you guys, thank you for being here for the last 50 minutes. I'll probably stick around. I'll probably hit the 1 hour mark. So I guess about 10 more minutes or so. I'll hang on here, discuss with you guys. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, guys. Hit the like button as well. It's been a lot of fun hanging with you guys tonight. It's a very amped up episode because we had a lot to talk about. And honestly, I'm going to run through very briefly match 1 through 14, starting with last night. Jey and Gunther should have been longer. Happy for Jey and the outcome that he won. New Day match, that was under 10 minutes. Them winning the titles, it really didn't matter. There's been no story with the tag division. Jade and Naomi. Figured Jade would win. A lot of people rallied for Naomi. I get it. I'm a big Naomi fan myself. Just out of sheer respect of what she's done throughout the years, or could have accomplished if booked accordingly. Either way, I cannot believe that Jade and Naomi went damn near the same time as New Day. New Day and War Raiders went 9:15. Jade and Naomi went 9:20. 5 seconds more. They should have got a little more time. But we know Jade's limited, so I'm not surprised at that at all. I was surprised Jacob won. Very happy for him winning the U.S. title. I did think Solo was going to screw it up for him. So be it. El Grande Americano, initially to go up against Rey Mysterio, ended up defeating Rey Fenix, right? Tiffany Stratton, knockdown, drag-out fight. She got it done, beat Charlotte in 19 minutes. Charlotte got a lot of offense in. Tiffany did too, but visibly Tiffany's face was looking pretty rough. And not just match of the night, but many could argue match of the weekend, which went almost 33 minutes. Seth defeated CM Punk and Reigns. And with that, Heyman turned on Punk and Reigns. And going into match 1 of tonight, Bianca, Rhea, and Io was phenomenal. Io retained. Drew and Damian Pruitt put on a hell of a battle, almost 14 minutes. Drew wins. Dom gets it done. He finally gets his first WrestleMania victory, right? He's 1-3 at Mania, but this one's very important because he won the IC title with it. After that, we'd see Randy Orton go up against the to-be-announced opponent. Who is it going to be? Nick Aldis? Could it be somebody else? A new signee, a new return? No, it was Joe Hendry. Good for him. TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Made an appearance at the Rumble. He was here at Mania. Good for him. This match ended in 3 minutes and a couple RKOs, but he'll never forget it. Logan Paul beat AJ Styles. Very disappointed. Not in the match, disappointed in the outcome. Karrion Kross was on TV. What's this going to mean for him and AJ? Does Kross finally get some wins, but does it come at the expense of AJ Styles? That one's unfortunate. We'll see. Becky returns. Her and Lyra win the tag titles in just under 9 minutes. Again, I thought this match would have been a lot longer as well. It wasn't. It is what it is. Becky and Lyra will feud going throughout the summer, and they'll have a match for the IC title at SummerSlam. This takes us to John Cena defeating Cody Rhodes in almost 22 minutes. Really, it was less than that. Travis Scott took 1/3 of the match to make his way down the entrance ramp. I guess the hardcore title was weighing him down. Not quite sure. Cena gets it done. He gets 17. Good for him. And that was WrestleMania 41 in a nutshell. Again, there were a lot of bright spots, a lot of fun champions won, a lot of title changes. Although the women's singles, they did retain. A lot of title changes. But again, the triple threat matches were 2 of my favorites for the men and the women. And I'll leave it at that. That was WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. Oh, and how did I not start this? I think I said it last night in the review. The Las Vegas crowd, yeah, they were amped up here and there at times tonight. Don't get me wrong. They're probably better than they were last night, the Vegas crowd. But collectively, this Vegas crowd was not it. All right? I don't know what it was with them. I don't know if they went out day drinking all weekend or all week leading up to it at friggin' WrestleCon or what. But this crowd was just a hot mess. Collectively, they were very mid, just like this pay-per-view or this PLE was. So that's my review. Cena versus Orton. I hope we get that at Backlash, Doctor Who. 31. We should all be in a Rumble, and whoever winner gets to meet Stephanie and Stone Cold. I'm with that. Degenerate gamblers. Tony says I had a hell of an idea. The show comes back. Okay, I had read that. All right, guys. So now would be a good time before I get out of here in 5 minutes exactly. Smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. All right, hit that thumbs up. Hopefully you enjoyed the live. That's your way of showing a little bit of appreciation, to what I do here on the channel. I don't ask for much. Just subscribe, comment throughout. I always read it aloud, and hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. It's been a lot of fun tonight, guys. Gonna head out in a few. I'll read some more comments as we wrap up here. Ryan says Cena Orton. Yeah, hopefully we get that at Backlash, man, for the title. That'd be a lot of fun. One would assume that Cena's going to retain, but heel Cena versus Orton's never truly face, but I guess Orton in more of a face capacity these days would be a lot of fun. Cena Orton, Cena Punk, Cena Roman, then the rematch. Good. That's a lot to pack in to a couple of months, Ryan. But we'll see. I hope all those matches take place. Again, Cena Orton, Cena Punk, Cena Roman, like we got, right? We had John Cena versus Roman Reigns in this very stadium, right, at SummerSlam 2021. And when Roman had beat Cena, who returned? Brock Lesnar, who would then have a match at SummerSlam 2022 in Nashville, right? When he lifted, he lifted the whole ring up, was it with a tractor or something? Crazy scenario there. Rachel goes on to say, Cena said everyone will want to watch Raw tomorrow because you can watch him ruin wrestling. Yeah, we're going to be getting a lot of this. We're going to be getting a lot of this, guys. So it's funny because a lot of us are calling this WrestleMania 41 being average at best this year. Goes way beyond John Cena, right? Way beyond him being a heel, way beyond him winning 17, whether people like it or not, way beyond how the finish of this match and PLE went. But it is fun for him to lean into that because a lot of people are disgruntled for a lot of reasons. So for him to outright take responsibility for saying, I will ruin wrestling, hey, that's a win-win for him, right? Regardless if it's aimed at him or aimed at the product as a whole. That kind of bails WWE out to an extent, but not completely. Not completely. Ryan says, would you have Cody win Money in the Bank? No, I would not. I would not. Then cash it in the way Cena did by telling him when he wants his rematch. No, I would not have Cody win Money in the Bank. Absolutely not. How does Cody find his way back to Cena? We soon shall see. But no, you got to leave Money in the Bank for somebody else. Now, Dom Mysterio seemingly is out of the question, right? Won the IC title. Not to say he can't win Money in the Bank, but now you want to see somebody else. It's interesting. A lot of the people we thought would be involved in Money in the Bank, and very well still could be, won in some type of regard this weekend. Whether that's Dom Mysterio with the IC title, whether that is Carmelo Hayes winning Friday night, taking out Andrade to become the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale winner. A lot of people are thinking Melo and Dom are two of the favorites to be in Money in the Bank and win it. Now, Melo, I think, very well still could be a heavy favorite. He very well could be. Heel Seth and heel Cody. Interesting, 31. Interesting. I'm not so sure about Cody at this moment, but heel Seth is there already, man. And Cody didn't go heel tonight because he didn't hit Cena with the title. He made his choice and live by the sword, die by the sword. So that was that. Goldberg didn't make it to WrestleMania 41. Let's all be grateful for that, Caden. Who could you see coming out first to challenge Cena tomorrow on Raw? Rachel, I haven't even begun to think about it, honestly. Show ended, turned it off, wrote a few notes, came down to the studio and hit the live button. So, sleep on it and see what transpires tomorrow. See if there's any inclinations of what we're going to get. Again, Backlash is May 10th. It's already the 21st of April, basically. So we're there. And, quite honestly, they may just run right into a Cena-Orton feud, perhaps, right away. In the event Cody goes heel in the future, he has to be with Heyman. Do you think so, Ryan? Do you think so? Is that why? Because of the relationship with Dusty Rhodes and history with Heyman and all that? Maybe. I don't know, man. Love to see B. Randy. Me too, Rachel. Me too. But, guys, I'm out of here in 1 minute, all right? I got to roll. But do me this favor. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well, and thank you for being here. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and thank you for being here tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed this WrestleMania 41 Night 2 review. We discussed the whole weekend into itself. Stand and Deliver was the one big bright spot to me, where that whole show absolutely was awesome. Roman is mad about Paul Heyman. Yeah, wouldn't you, Cade? Wouldn't you? Would you have Roxanne win Money in the Bank, or have Stephanie win Money in the Bank? If I had to pick 131, I'd probably have Roxanne win Money in the Bank. Yeah, I would, just based upon their characters and I don't know. Yeah, I would have Roxanne win that type of an opportunity. I just see her as a better Money in the Bank briefcase holder. You know, whether she stays a heel or not, I just see her being more of an irritant, like, oh, I'm gonna cash in, and kind of toying with the competition, opposed to Stephanie. Just gives, I mean, they're both great wrestlers, but Stephanie just gives me those boss vibes. It's just gonna come out there, get it done, and that's it. Am I gonna be here for Raw after WrestleMania? So usually I am on here Raw after WrestleMania. I am hoping and praying that I can be on, as I usually am, Mondays and Fridays. Should definitely be on Friday after SmackDown, but it is a game time decision. All right, it's a game time decision as to see if I'm going to be on here for the Raw after Mania. I hope to be here as I usually am, guys, but we shall wait and see. So if I'm not here, I do apologize in advance for Monday Night Raw after Mania, but we shall see. We shall see. Don't think he turns soon. There's no one as hot as babyface as Cody, you're saying? Yeah, I hear you, right? Makes sense. I see Fraxium coming up and challenging the New Day. That'd be interesting, Wiccan. You know, I was just assuming that they may split them up, but you know what? They're probably best suited to keep Fraxium together, right? And bring them up to the main roster together. Because realistically, what are they going to do? I mean, we know they're both great, but I would just hate to see them flounder in the mid card, right? If people are going to complain about how Carmella was booked in the last year in the mid card or on SmackDown, then you probably have a lot to complain about if they put Axiom and Nathan Frazier separate and singles on the main roster, maybe on separate brands, right? So yeah, bringing them up, we know the Raw Tag Team division could definitely use a kick in the butt. And I think bringing a team like Fraxium up to Monday Night Raw, as you alluded to, is a great idea and could give them the added rejuvenated feel that they need, realistically. And I wouldn't even be mad if they shocked the New Day early into their title reign. I don't think the heel New Day is built to be champions for 8 months, right? Have Fraxium shock the world tomorrow night on Raw. And then eventually have the Creeds beat Fraxium in like a month, or it's a couple of PLEs down the line. And that's how you get the Creed brothers to hold those tag titles for quite a while. That's what I would do. So I like that. That pieces everything together. The women should have main evented tonight, says Nas. Yeah. Oh, the argument could be made. We absolutely knew Cody and Cena were absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, going to main event. But based upon what we saw match-wise and my level of excitement and interest and intrigue, regardless of Cena winning or not, yeah, Bianca, Io, and Rhea were fantastic, man. They really started off the show at a bang. You say Carmelo's been jobbing to the stars? Yeah, to a point, but he's not going to stay in, I'm not even calling him a jobber. Your words, not mine. He's not going to stay in this quote-unquote taking L purgatory on SmackDown forever. He hasn't even been on the main roster for a full year yet. And they've showed enough bright spots of him, not even going back to his NXT days, where we know that one day, not only will Melo hold the US or IC title, but he will definitely be a world champion in some regard, even if we're a few years down the line, right? Night one matches should have been on Raw or SmackDown than PLE. Yeah, absolutely, Miss J. I agree. New Day and War Raiders, absolutely. Jade and Naomi, their build was so great, one of the better builds, even though the match was kind of so-so, as I kind of knew it would be. Without elaborating, I love Naomi. I was prefacing by that, which you already know. But yeah, Jay Naomi was cool. I wish they actually got a little more time. But yeah, El Grande Americano, very happy for Rey Fenix getting his WrestleMania debut opportunity. But yeah, the El Grande bit could have, and yeah, and there's even probably at least a match tonight that I'm sure could have as well. But again, all right, Mania. I'm not gonna completely bash it, even though I was very honest and open about how I felt about this weekend throughout the course of this last hour. I give it a C minus. I give it a C minus, and maybe if I let it breathe for a couple weeks or months, maybe I give it a C. I ain't going to C plus though. There's no way anybody could get me to call this a C plus PLE. It's a C minus, absolutely. After WrestleMania 39 and 40 being so damn good the last couple of years, this was a letdown. This was absolutely a letdown. So with the so-so build, I was really hoping they at least delivered on the weekend unto itself. But what are you gonna do? When is the draft happening? I don't think they announced anything yet. 31, hopefully in the month of May, as it usually is, late April, early May. Obafemi call up. Well, he did retain, right? He retained his title, so I don't see that happening anytime soon. Maybe Trick Williams or something soon. How do you feel about part-time champion? Should a champion be there every night? No, I don't think they need to be there every single night, but I think we should at least see them every other week. Or at least every third week, because I feel like part-time champions aren't even there every other week or every third week. It feels like we see them once every 5 or 6 weeks. At least the first half of Roman's reign was, he was pretty consistent champion for the most part, right? I know he went on more so the part-time schedule, the latter half of his title reign, but I'm not the biggest fan of part-time champions, though. I'm not. But I don't mind them utilizing them here and there, like AEW did with MJF, and even with Roman to a point. Like, when they get to a certain extent, I don't mind that. You don't want to risk overexposing them or having them there all the time. Don't get me wrong. I like a good defending champion, like Seth Rollins was with the World Heavyweight title in 2023, or as he really always is, no matter what title he holds. But at the same time, we don't need to see them all the time. Let them feel important. They shouldn't be booked at every opportunity, especially in a match capacity, right? Time for Trick and Roxanne to leave NXT. Yeah, sure. Rachel, wow, Rachel's keeping it real, rugged, and raw. I like that, Rachel. Tell us how you feel. You know I have been for the last 65 minutes, and Rachel gives this PLE a D. I get it. I gave it a C minus. Rachel gave it a D. I get it. Miss J says I think the Trick Oba Javon should have been on Mania instead of most of the matches. And so it's funny, Miss J. I talked to quite a few people during that match and after that PLE, Stand and Deliver, and a couple of people felt this very same way that you did, and I do too. That Trick, Oba, and Javon match could have easily not only just been on Mania, but replaced. After now watching Mania as a whole, we said that previous to knowing what Mania night 1 and night 2 were going to give us. We would have liked that match and accepted it, even if Mania was a banger, as Sheamus would say. And this Mania was certainly far from a banger. So yes, you could have swapped out a lot of these nonsensical matches or poorly done matches that we saw night 1, night 2 for Trick, Oba, and Javon Evans, which was a phenomenal Stand and Deliver main event. Absolutely. Absolutely. Meant weekly or bi-weekly, not nightly. Nah, I figured you meant something along those lines, Wiccan. Not just the Golden Era, the New Generation Era, the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, the PG Era, the Celebrity Era. I know, right? The Corporate Era, quite literally. If Rock goes the Team Corporate bit, it kind of leans into really where they're at with TKO. All the spot. Could they fit one more sponsorship on the mat? I had my good friend over Saturday night, lifelong friend, and we literally said it at the same time. Like, could they fit another sponsorship on the friggin' mat? Suddenly, I missed just seeing the Prime bottle we had there last year throughout the course of 2024. Logan Paul and Company. There was a sponsor in every corner in the center. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was nuts. So let's see here. Piss Roman lost and Piss Cody lost. Yeah, I get it, Rachel. I get it. And I know you like John Cena too, but I get it. WWE buys AAA. Mooch. Yeah, AAA. And they have that event with NXT June 7th. Good for them. The Worlds Collide. Should be a lot of fun, hopefully. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Think it's crazy they kept Alexa off Mania. Well, again, Rachel, there was a reason for it. I would have loved to see Alexa as well, but again, whatever happened with Uncle Howdy or Bo Dallas and the pause button on the Wyatt 6 for the last 2 months, where they would have implemented Alexa by now and hopefully had Alexa and Nikki be tagging up and maybe on their way to Tag Team Gold. Who knows? So they're holding off for that reason, seemingly. Otherwise, I get it. I get the frustration of not seeing Alexa Bliss yet. Shay says, I'm going to honestly say I'm not going to look at rumors anymore. This whole PLE was predictable. Sure. I missed the clean ring. Yeah, I missed the clean mat. Yeah, Nas, I feel like Gunther. The mat is sacred. The mat is sacred. There should not be any sponsors on it. They got more sponsors than boxing on these mats, and I hate it. I hate it. Any opportunity TKO has to put a sponsor anywhere, they're going to start having the wrestlers go out and put it on their gear and on their chests. It's crazy. Wiggins says, with a short Orton match I'm glad they didn't use a return superstar. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. They gave Joe Hendry his opportunity. And in 3+ minutes, Randy got it done. And that's all we needed. We needed Randy to get his 20th WrestleMania opportunity still, even though KO couldn't make it. They got him on the card, got him his win, gave Joe Hendry the opportunity of a lifetime, coming out as world champion for TNA 2. What that does for TNA is huge. Never mind an opportunity in the Royal Rumble. We got a match against Randy Orton in his 20-year WrestleMania anniversary as the world champion. So that's huge. In 3 minutes, who cares? Even if it went 10 minutes, Orton was going to win, right? Let's see. Cody was Travis Scott at Backlash. I sure hope not. So, again, we don't need Cody back for at least a month. Cody should have missed Backlash. Sorry to say, but I will Stand and Deliver was better. You say Stand and Deliver was better than WrestleMania. Yeah, that's what I said 10 minutes ago, 31. Collectively, start to finish, bell to bell, match 1 through 7. That was also a 7-match pay-per-view as well. PLE as well. Stand and Deliver was 7 matches. So we got 21 matches throughout, and that was absolutely, Stand and Deliver was head and shoulders collectively as a product way better and way more exciting than night 1 or night 2 was. Absolutely. On a brighter note, Jay is the new world champion. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from here, Rach. Again, I don't see him going past SummerSlam with that title, much like they did with Bayley and Damian Priest last year, where they won at Mania and dropped at SummerSlam. But we'll see where it leads to. I'm thinking maybe Braun Breaker comes in again and gets the win at SummerSlam. What's up there, 210? The Cena match was totally boring. You're saying the crowd turned on Cody, you said. And they probably called an audible. Plus, why is Cena the GOAT now? Confusing. Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. This Mania was a lot of there's a lot of head scratching, right? What's up there, JJ? How we doing tonight? Triple H said that Raw should be exciting. Yeah, I love Triple H. As I said, I think his couple of years, really leading the way. More times than not, his stuff has been good, but there's been a lot that's been in question. I'll just start with 2025, right? The last 3.5 months, January, February, March, and we're more than halfway into April. There's been a lot of head scratching moments, a lot of gaps in creative that I'm not too fond of in the women's tag division, the women's IC title, the women's US title. A lot of holes you're seeing here and there with the men's situation. Why is the Street Profits not on this PLE? And there's many other things, even in bigger scenarios and storylines that I'm just wondering, like what are we doing? So again, it's not even about me having the desired outcome I want. We know that's not realistic, and it's not even about me here, just as a fan. I'm looking at the product as a whole and saying, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, what feud are you looking forward to continuing the most? I'll be honest with you. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight. A part of me kind of wants to see Tiffany Charlotte Part 2. I'm just nervous that then Charlotte at Backlash or something might beat Tiffany for the title. So a part of me wants to see the match as long as Tiffany's going to win. But a part of me wants to see that. I'm not going to lie. Outside of that, I want to see Jade and Naomi again. I want to see Naomi get a win over Jade Cargill. And outside of that, I mean, Rey Fenix would have his reasons to get in a rematch against El Grande Americano. Even though Rey Fenix is on SmackDown and El Grande for the time being is on Raw, so I don't know how that would work out. As I look through this card here, Io pinned Rhea for the title a couple months, about a month and a half ago, beat Bianca tonight. Io's done with them in my book. We could see Drew and Damian again. So I'm just looking, as I say this, say these things, what I'm most looking forward to out of potential rematch scenarios, or just a feud in general, like you said, continuing. I gotta say, probably Naomi and Jade. Just hoping that Naomi gets a victory next time she gets a shot at Jade Cargill. Maybe as early as Backlash, or maybe on an episode of SmackDown. Who knows? Hopefully Backlash, though. Can you explain to me why John Cena, the finish was bad, says Elijah. Elijah, so what's going on here, my friend? Guys, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I would appreciate it. So I have no problem with Cena winning 17. Now, hats off to him. I'm not going to completely take my hat off. Just saying, but, I think to me, and a lot of you guys in here, may like Travis Scott or whatnot, but even some of you admitted that, look, the Travis Scott thing, not only did it take him longer to get to the ring than The Undertaker, but that was like, come on already. You assume some funny business was going to happen, even though Cody Rhodes hit him with a crossroads. It was just a dull. All I can say is this, and I know John Cena's not here to appease the fans in 2025 as a heel. It was just a very dull. It's like it's one thing for Cody to lose, but it's just like the finish was just. It was just lame. There was so much more expectation for twists and turns. Even if Cena was the outcome was going to be him as the champion. This is kind of the only interference was Travis Scott taking his sweet time with the hardcore title that weighed more than him to get to the ring. Like, really? That's what we're doing? In the main event, you're charging people an arm and a leg to be in the presence of the nosebleeds, and us fans are staying up for hours on end, Saturday and Sunday to watch this, and this is what you're giving us. So I just think I can't directly pinpoint it, but what I can say is that I've watched enough pro wrestling as a fan, and just wasn't good. The match wasn't bad. Just the ending was very lame, and it all began and ended with Travis Scott's interference in some regard. So I'll just say that. Let's see here. What is your thoughts about John Cena at 17? What's up there, Ryan? Good for Cena, though, man. Good for Cena. I'm happy for him, even in this heel sense. Good for him. He got the 17. God bless him. Guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, as we're going to wrap up soon. I know I was going to earlier, but getting a few more comments. Adrian, how we doing tonight? WWE is so out of touch. They think Rich the Kid is someone people care about. That's funny, Nas. That's funny. Sean, hopefully Cody Rhodes will challenge Cena to a rematch. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I don't think we see Cody for a while there, Sean, but we'll see. Travis Scott is so freaking skinny. That he is. Felt forced. Yeah, that's a good assessment. It did feel kind of forced. Do I think Chad Gable will get 2 paychecks? He might, Jesus. He might. He's doing overtime. El Grande Americano. Let's see. I love Io and Tiffy. But in your opinion, who would you have them get? Who would I have them lose to? I'm not saying I want it to be Charlotte, but Charlotte could get Tiffany in a rematch. Who would I have Io lose to on Raw? I'm going to be honest. There's no one in position at this moment in time that I could even begin to conjure up I'm sure if I looked at the Raw and SmackDown women's locker room or roster right now, up and down that roster, I'm sure I could find somebody if I really tried. But since there's nobody that Eureka light bulb goes off comes to mind, I'm not even going to mention anybody because, Tiffany's only held the title since January 3rd. That's not that long. The first episode of SmackDown in 2025 when she cashed in successfully on Nia Jax. Io's held the title, since March 3rd? Three, I guess three is the lucky number here. Io won March 3rd, the Raw after Elimination Chamber. So again, Io's had it a month and a half. Tiffany's barely had it a few months. So I don't know. But what I will say is this. I don't want to see either Tiffany or Io lose that title till at least SummerSlam. And even at that point, I would still have one of them go on and be champion past SummerSlam. Not sure who. Have one of them drop at SummerSlam, have one of them retain. Again, not sure who. Depends on what they got cooking in the women's main card on SmackDown and Raw and where they both end up. They might swap Tiffany and Io. Who knows if there's a trades going on or if they do go forth with the draft in a couple weeks like they usually do around this time of the year. Vegas crowd was whack. Yeah, say it again, Adrian, for the people in the back. That crowd in Las Vegas was terrible. And it all started on Friday Night SmackDown. All started at SmackDown. Where do you see Americano and Phoenix going from here? Again, I don't know, Wiccan. You got Ray Phoenix on SmackDown, Americano seemingly on Raw still, right? So I don't know how they even piece themselves together. One thing about Travis Guy, he knows how to piss wrestling fans off. Yes, you are right, Daz. Orton versus Cena for the championship on Raw tomorrow night. It could be interesting. Is Orton on Raw? I thought Orton's on SmackDown, even though obviously everybody's in town for the show, so who knows? Good for Dom. Yeah, good for Dom tonight, winning that IC title and getting his first WrestleMania win. He was 0-3, dating back to, WrestleMania 38 when he debuted with his father. 38, who did he lose to? Was it, who did he lose to? I forget. But anyway, what do you think about John Cena being a bad guy? He was mean to a little boy. Yeah, he's just living the gimmick, I guess. John Cena's heel run's been all right. It hasn't been bad. It hasn't been, over the moon great. It's been cool. Cena's heel run's been cool. Just like this show was just cool. It wasn't, I don't think the show was bad. I certainly don't think this WrestleMania 41, as I've said throughout the last hour and a half, has not been great. So I'll leave it at that. But guys, I want to wrap up right now. Thank you for being here. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Usually I'm on here Mondays and Fridays after Raw and SmackDown. Not quite sure it's going to be a game time decision if I'm on here Raw after Mania tomorrow. If not, please subscribe, please like the live, and continue to follow my content, whether it's daily uploads or lives. I will be on here later in the week. And certainly for Friday Night SmackDown. Fingers crossed. But if I'm not here for the Raw after Mania, definitely stay tuned to the channel. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, and Facebook at Turnbuckle, TOPIX. Everybody have a great night. Yeah, I did see that, Sean, with the Stone Cold. That lady will be getting free WrestleMania tickets for the rest of her life. No problem, Jesus. Take care, Miss J. Good seeing you, Adrian. Everybody, thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for those who are here for the better part of an hour and a half, or even if you just hopped in. I will see you soon. Subscribe, like the live, and I'll see you soon. Have a great Monday. Take care.